Okay, we're going to continue using percent bar models, but today we're going to learn how to use the bar models to find the part and the whole amounts of a percent problem. Make sure that you have your notes and that you're filling them out completely as we go through the video. Pause the video if necessary so that you can stay caught up in your notes. Okay, our first problem. If 30% of the students in the choir are 7th graders, and there are 27 7th graders in the choir, determine the total number of students in the choir. So determine the total number of students. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for the whole. It is unknown. We know the percent, 30%, and what does this percent represent? The 7th graders in the choir. So the percent is 30, and it represents the 7th graders. Put 7th graders. And we know that there are 27 7th graders. So that's the part. And it represents the number of 7th graders in the choir. Now, just like before when we were finding the percent, we need to make sure that the part and the percent represent or describe the same things. And they do. They both describe the number of 7th graders. So we're ready to go ahead and draw our bar model. So let's do our label. We'll do the 0% to 100%. Whoops. And what is it that we're talking about here? We're talking about students in the choir. So we're going to go from 0 students in the choir to the unknown number of students. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so here we go. Next thing is we're going to partition our bar model into 10 equal parts. So we draw a line down the middle and draw 4 lines before and 4 lines after. And that gives us 10 parts. So label, here's 10%, 20%, I'm not writing very well, 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%, 70%, 80%, and 90%. Okay, since we don't know the total number of students, we can't divide it into 10 equal parts. But we do know that 30% equals 27 students. So let's represent our 30%. So here's the 30%. This whole section makes up our 30%. So how many parts make up the 30%? 3 parts. And it equals a total of 27 students. So 30% equals 27 students. So I can actually take these 27 students and I could divide it into the 3 equal parts. And there would be 9 students per part. And since each part is the same, 10%, then that means there would be 9 students in all of the other parts. And to find the total number of students, I could add them all up, or I could take 9 and multiply it by 10, and it equals 90. So there are 90 total students. So the answer statement would be 90 total students in choir. Okay, so to recap, we know that 30% equals 27 students. So this 30% right here equals 27 students. So I can take the number of students, 27, and divide it equally into each of the 3 parts, and each part would get 9. Well, all of our parts, all of our 10 parts are the same amount. So if there's 9 in each of these parts, that means there's going to be 9 in each of the other parts. And to find the total students, we could add up the 9 10 times or multiply 9 times 10, and we get 90 total students. Let's try another one. At an amusement park, 60% of the people were adults and the rest were children. There were 720 adults. How many people were at the amusement park in all? So we want to know how many people in all. So we're looking for the whole. We're given the percent. 60% were adults. So 60%, and this represents the adults. There were 720 adults, so that's the part. 720, and that represents the adults. Okay, so make sure, do the part and the percent represent the same thing? Yes, they both represent the number of adults. So we're ready to go ahead and start our bar model. So cut it into half, then 4 lines in front and 4 lines behind. Ready to label. Goes from 0% to 100%. And I need to go to 60% because that's how many were adults. So here's 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60%. So this 60% represents what? It represents 720 adults. So 720. Okay, this is going to be 0 people at the amusement park, and we don't know how many total people. That's what we're looking for. Sorry, I forgot to label that. Okay, if I know that these 6 boxes represent 720, then I can divide my 720 by 6. And that's going to equal 120. So each part is 120 people. And if each one of these parts is 120, that means all of the other parts are also 120 each. So I'm going to finish labeling. So I could add up 120 10 times, or I could do 120 times 10, which will give you 1,200. So our answer statement would be 1,200 people at the park, at the amusement park. Okay, so again, we were looking for the whole. We knew a part, we knew the 60% part was 720. So we divided that 720 equally among the 6 parts, and they each got 120. Since all of the parts have to be the same, that means each of the other parts are also 120. So we have 10 parts that have 120 each, which gives us a total of 1,200 people at the amusement park. Okay, Marilyn saves 40% of the money she earns each month. She earns $350 each month. How much does she save? So we're actually looking for the part this time. We're looking for the part that she saves. What information are we given? That she saves 40%. So that, of course, is your percent, 40. And we know that this is going to be the amount that she saves because it tells us that. And she earns $350 each month. That is your whole. So let's go ahead and label. We're going to go from 0% to 100%. We do know the whole. We're talking about money. So we go from $0 money, $0 to the $350 that she earns in a month. Let's go ahead and break this up into 10 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And we know the percent is 40%, so we need to label at least a 40%. 10, 20, 30, and 40%. This is the amount that we're looking for. I do know the whole, so I can divide the whole into 10 equal parts. 350 divided by 10 is going to be 35. So each part represents 35. Since I'm only looking for the 40% part, I could stop right here. And I could either add 35 together 4 times or multiply 35 times 4 because it's in 4 parts and get $140. So she saves $140. So this was a little bit different from before because we were finding the whole before. This time we knew the whole amount. So we had to divide the whole amount into 10 equal parts, where each part gets 35. And you could show 35 in each of the 10 parts. The only part that we're interested in is the 40% part, how much she saves. So that would be 4 parts. So you could either add the 35 together, or we multiplied it by 4 and got $140. Last example. The television is on sale for 20% off. If the regular price of the television is $600, how much is the discount, and what is the new sale price? Okay, so we have 2 questions we have to answer. Before you can find the new sale price, you have to find how much the discount is. Remember, a discount is when they take money off of the regular price. It's like it's on sale. Okay, so we're looking for the discount. That's the part. That's what we're looking for. The discount. What information are we given? That it's on sale for 20% off. This 20% represents the discount. And we know that the regular price of the television is $600. That is your whole. Okay, check. Do the part and the percents describe the same thing? Yes, they both describe the discount. So let's do our labels. We're going to go from 0% to 100%. And we're talking about money, so 0 money, and the regular price of the TV is $600. Okay, let's go ahead and divide it into 10 parts. And we're going to label 0%, 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%. I could actually stop because right now I'm just looking for the 20% discount. Okay, so if I take my 600 and I divide it into 10 equal parts, each part is going to get 60. 60, 60. Okay, how much is the discount? The 20% discount. This represents the 20% discount. So how much money represents the 20% discount? 60 plus 60, which is 120. So the discount is $120. And what is the new sale price? So there's 2 ways you could find the new sale price. The first way is to say, hey, if this is the discount amount, then that means that, I changed my color but it didn't want to, that means that the rest of it is the new sales price. So this is the discount, and this is the new sale price. So we could add it up, 60 plus 60 plus 60, 60, 60, 60, 60, 60, or you could do 60 times 8, which is going to be $480. So the new sale price is $480. Or you could have taken the total, the original price, 600, and subtracted the discount. And you would have gotten the same answer, 480. And now it's time for your independent practice.